Alright, so today we are going to be reviewing, verifying, and finding inverses. So we're going to be reviewing for the next 3 days, and then your guys' quiz will be on Friday. So we got this Friday, Monday, Tuesday to review, mock quiz on Wednesday, and then preparing for that quiz on Friday. So let's review. So first we have review verifying and finding inverses. So to verify inverses, you have to use function composition. So this is what function composition looks like. F of g of x and g of f of x. So you guys, if both of those are equal to x, then you know the two functions are inverse of each other. And if they are not equal to x, then you automatically know they cannot be inverses to each other. So example 1, we have f of x right there and g of x right there. And the question is, got inverses? Kind of like the play on word on got milk. Ha 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 ha, that was a terrible joke. Alright, moving on. So we got f of g of x, which really looks like that. So we're going to focus on this for you guys for right now. F of g of x, you guys, what it's really doing, I'll use the other one. No. Oh. Okay, so if you have f of g of x, right, that means you're substituting all of g of x into the f of x function, which is really just substituting in that whole thing in for that x. So when we take a look over here, we're going to have 1 plus 4 over 5, and this x is now all of that, which is how we get this right here. Okay, now we got to simplify that, so you guys distribute. Now, 4/5 times 5/4, you guys recognize that these 5s would cancel and these 4s would cancel, so for that one, you would only have an x, and then when you guys do this one to the negative 5/4, these will cancel and these would cancel, which would just leave you guys with -1. So 1 plus x minus 1. And then 1 minus 1, you guys, is just x. So that one's accomplished, but now we gotta do the other one, which is g of f of x. So if it's g of f of x, right, that means you are substituting all of f of x into the g of x function. Everything into that x. So we have that. Gotta distribute the 5/4 to here. 5/4 times 1 is 5/4. 5/4 times 4/5, you guys, they cancel, which only gives you guys an x. 5/4 minus 5/4 will just give you guys. So are these inverses? Yeah, they are. Alright, so this one is a very challenging one, you guys. It's a rational function. So I'm just going to show you guys this one. But again, this one is going to be pretty challenging. But for your homework, not so much, but I'm going to assume that one of these will be on your quiz. So again, work on your foundation first, and then eventually you guys will get to this point. So there's f of x, g of x. You're determining if these are inverses. So I'm first just going to do f of g of x, which means I'm substituting this whole thing into f of x, which is just substituting it into that x. So when I release this, you guys have that. So 2 all over 4 of x plus 1 minus 2 minus 3. Alright, so first thing we gotta do is that -2 minus 3, we subtract from each other, and that's how we just change it to negative 5. This, right? Next, we have to get this, you guys, to have a common denominator. So the common denominator is x plus 1, so that means change 5 to become a fraction, and then multiply top and bottom by x plus 1. And you still keep everything. Alright, so it's going to be 4. So negative 5, right? This whole thing, you guys, negative 5. Distribute that negative 5 to the inside. Negative 5 times x, negative 5 times 1. And you're going to get 2 all over 4 minus 5x minus 5 all over x plus 1 minus 2. So we could simplify the top, and you guys are going to get, so 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So negative 5x minus 1 over x plus 1 minus 2. Okay, so this is where you guys have a fraction over a fraction, which means that you guys essentially flip this, and the x plus 1 gets multiplied to the 2. Or better yet, you guys can do this as well. If it's a fraction over this fraction, all you have to do then is just multiply this bottom one to the top, because once you guys divide it, and then change it to a reciprocal, the x plus 1 is just going to multiply to the 2. So essentially what you guys have is 2 times x plus 1 all over negative 5x minus 1 all minus 2. Distribute the 2 to the inside, so 2x plus 2. And now you guys have to combine this one. So I put that one over negative 2, and then I found that the common denominator is negative 5x minus 1. So I just multiplied top and bottom of this negative 2 by negative 5x minus 1. So then negative 2, you distribute it to both of those, and you get this. So all of it's going to be under the same common denominator, negative 2 times negative 5x, which gave us 10x, negative 2 times negative 1, which gave us the 2. And then you guys just collect like terms on top to get that, and that is not going to simplify to x to whatsoever, so that means you guys, it's not going to be inverses. There will be a time when those will be inverses, so it's a lengthy process, but again, you guys work on your foundation first, and then on the quiz on Friday, that's what you gotta prepare for one of them. But for this homework assignment, not so much, not now. Alright, so we're moving on to reviewing finding your inverses. So you guys recall this, or most of you recall this from your notes. There's 5 steps, right? So I told you guys, no matter what, just follow these 5 steps and you should be able to find the inverse of whatever function that's given to you. So we're going to refer back to these when we do this. So there's example 3. So step 1, check to see if function is one-to-one function. So all of ours will be one-to-one because that's what we're going to be asking you guys, okay? So the next one will be step 2, change f of x to be y. So we're going to change f of n to be y. Step 3, switch x and y variable. So our x variables are n, right? So we're going to switch our n and y variables. Step 4, solve for y. So first we got to add 2 to both sides. Now when you guys get to this part, we're trying to solve for y. So that means we need to raise this side by 3 and we need to raise this side by 3. So then the cube root cancels, so then we get that, and to solve for y, we just subtract 2 to both sides, and we get that. And last step, step 5, change y to be f inverse of x. So for us, it's f inverse of n is equal to all of that. So that is the review, guys. I'll post the homework and stuff, and I'll post this online. Okay, peace.